Yo, what's going on everyone? This is AZN here. Today, you guys are watching another figure review, and this time it is on the Furai Model Strom Shadow from G.I.Joe. So, there's a lot of good things I have to say about this model kit. A couple other things that's not really so good, but it's pretty minor. Overall, it's a pretty good model kit. I will go over that in the video. So, without wasting too much of you guys' time, let's just get right into it. So real quick, let's go over the box. So as you can see, we got Flame Toys up there, the company who made the figure. We got the Furai logo, we got G.I.Joe, we got like a little illustration of the Storm Shadow figure just without the joints, and we got the model kit Storm Shadow. And the bottom, you get like a couple of, I want to say, prototype pics of how the kit is built, all put together, and nothing much on this side. And on this side, you get like the skeleton of the figure once you put it together, along with the I wouldn't call these armor pieces, but like the other pieces that you attach onto it. And there's also a little error that on the box it says like Snake Eyes instead of Storm Shadow for whatever reason. There's also Snake Eyes too, but I didn't get that one. But anyway, in the back, oh, that was upside down. But in the back, you see, I also say Flame Toys, get a couple of promo pics of the figure and all the runners that it come with. I'm really messing up today, but yeah, that's all there really is. It really, we got Hasbro and all that. We got this big old glare that's, you know, in the way. But that's pretty much it about the box. For accessories, you come with 2 ball fists, split open jazz hands, some gripping hands for carrying his weapons or katanas that we got right in front of the camera right now. And it's also worth pointing out that these gripping hands are not really the best. It doesn't hold on to the figure that tight like I would like it to be. So just worth knowing about that. You're gonna have to do some finagling, for lack of a better word. So just keep that in mind when you pose this thing around. You are going to be dealing with this sword falling off, or these swords falling off a lot. But they look pretty nice though. I did try to paint them. They're not really the best, but I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. But yeah, I think I did good enough. The paint on these are pretty sloppy, but if you guys are experienced with painting model kits, you probably make this look like 30 times better than I would. And I got some paint on the gripping hands too. Apparently I didn't let them fully dry. But anyway, that's about it for the gripping hands. And also another thing worth pointing out, some of these, if you put the hands in for like the first time, some of these joints tend to pop off, but it goes back in pretty easy. But it does get pretty annoying. So yeah, just another thing that's worth knowing about when building this kit. I don't know exactly what kind of hand gesture this is, but from the look of the mark right here, I think it's for like carrying one of his weapons. I'm not really sure, but he comes with them, so I'll leave it at that. He comes with some other hand gestures, which I'm not super familiar with, but it's for like another weapon, I guess. He also comes with 3 sets of kunais. He also comes with, I forgot the name of this thing already, but it attach onto his strap. I'm just gonna call it strap for now because I forgot the actual name. And it comes with some ninja stars or shurikens. Come with 4 sets of them. There's also a way you can have him carrying it or carrying these, but I'm not gonna bother because these are real easy to lose. I also painted these as well, so it's not really the best, but I wanted to make it look somewhat complete. And it comes with like these 2 sword thingies right here that you can attach to the swords right here, or these sword handles, which I also happen to paint. But I'm just gonna leave them off because I prefer having them carrying the sword. Whoa, that was way too tight, but I got it off. He also comes with 6 sets of arrows to store behind his back. You just put these in like so. I'm not gonna spend my whole time putting every single one of these in here, but all of them can fit, so take my word. And of course you can't have arrows without a bow, so he comes with that as well. And he comes with this motorcycle, which broke apart on me. Also, before I get further with this is sold separately with the model kit, so it also came with the box as well, but I didn't bother showing that just to save some time for this review. But this is a motorcycle that he can ride on. This thing was really hard to put together. It was pretty frustrating, and as you can tell, one of the pieces had broke on mine, so I was pretty upset about that. I don't think I'm gonna get a new one of this because of that, but I might try to get another motorcycle that's like similar to this model, or I can use it as like another motorcycle that, you know, have like, I don't know, like some enemy assassinate him or like blow up the motorcycle or something like that. I can use this as a towing version for now when I get like, you know, like a newer one. And it also comes with the stickers as well, and the other one also comes with stickers, but I mean honestly you don't need that much for this model kit in terms of stickers. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the motorcycle. I forgot to mention how you put his strap on. So all you have to do is just pop off the head. Well, not the head. Oh god, I can't. Come on man, we're gonna here. I did it off camera. So you just pop off the neck piece, and then you just put this in like so, and then peg it back in there, and boom, that's about it. The sculpt and the detail on this guy, honestly I feel like there's not really a lot to go over in terms of the detail, but and also the sculpting too. But anyway, so yeah, the sculpt and the detail is nothing a lot to go over, but it's pretty good for the most part. It's just basically a G.I. Joe, but just with slightly more detail, I guess. So we got his head, which is pretty basic. There's no other head that comes with the figure, so it's just pretty much plain, which is not a bad thing. And thankfully the Cobra symbol is actually pre-painted, so you don't have to worry about putting any decals on this model kit, so that's a plus right there. I'm glad they did that. And yeah, but other than that, there's not really a lot to go over. I did paint it a couple of parts, like these straps right here. I didn't do much of a great job, but I tried, like I already said. And I really like the weapons right here. I also had to cement some of these, like use some hobby cement to like keep these together. And some of the seam lines doesn't look that good either. As you can see, like you can tell that there's some gappage right here, and you can see that I didn't really do a good job of like putting them in all the way in. But other than that, it looks pretty solid. I also painted the belt too, by the way, so I think I did pretty good with the belt. Everything else I feel like, at least to me, because I'm like, this is me that's working on the kit, so I feel like I have a lot to be desired, or you know, when it comes down to like still painting kits. But other than that, it's good but very basic. That's probably the best way I can describe it. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it about the sculpting in detail. For scaling or size comparison, here he is standing next to the SH Figure Arts Gabrimaru from Hell's Paradise. and Medusa Rider or Figma Medusa Rider 2.0 from Face Day Night. As you can tell, Storm Shadow is a bit shorter than Rider here, and I want to say him and Gabriel is actually pretty much about the same height, or at least close to the same height, because he's not really that short. I think he's only about like 5.5 inches, so he's pretty much around a little bit close to like a figure arts height. I mean, this is an import model kit, so he scales pretty well with Gabimaru. Rider pretty much towers over these two. Here he is standing next to side by side with the best action Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender and the SH Figure Arts 2.0 Naruto. And here he is standing next to some other model kits I got in my collection, such as the Dark Advent Undead Address Isis, and also the Pliabot Gurren Lagann, which I recently built, and hopefully I have a review of this out pretty soon, sometime by next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it about the size comparison and scaling. So let's move on to articulation. But before I move on to the articulation, I don't think anyone's going to be asking me this, but they might. I don't have any of the classified stuff, you know, regarding G.I. Joe. This is the only G.I. Joe figure that I bought in years. So yeah, I don't have any of the classified stuff. So if you guys are wondering if I do have any of the classified figures, I don't. So now let's move on to articulation. Articulation. His head can go that far up and that far down. It can't do a 360 due to, you know, how it's built or how you have to build it, but it gets some pretty good range. It can also tilt side to side as well. Around the arms, can do a full 360. Around the elbows, it can go sideways. It can't do a 360 because if you try, this piece will split right in half. I had to hobby cement it. I had to use hobby cement for that because I was getting a little annoyed. There's also a double jointed elbows, so it could bend about over 90. Another thing that I feel like I need to point out about building this kit: make sure you hobby cement one of these elbows right here, because they have a tendency to pop off. And I lost it like not too long ago, and I had to look for it, so that's why it took me so long to finally review this. But anyway, just make sure you just hobby cement this with the figure, and then you'll be all good. Around the wrist, there's not really much articulation. I honestly think this is kind of pointless. Well, I wouldn't even say kind of, but it's pretty pointless to have this as like a double joint, because like it can barely move, but it can do your 360 as well, so that's pretty good. Around the diaphragm, it can go back that much. It can do a little bit of an ab crunch, and it does look kind of floaty around here because how it's designed, so it's not really that well hidden, but it gets some decent range. You also want to adjust it like every now and then, because like, let me just show you. You have to adjust this joint right here occasionally, because like sometimes it'll look a little off. So it looks like he, you know, like his spine got kicked to the wrong side or something. So you might want to just adjust that a little bit. Around the legs, you can do the splits with no issue. Around the thigh, you can go side to side. Got like double jointed knees, so that could bend about over 90. And around the foot, there's no toe articulation, by the way, so there's only this one ankle pivot right here. I've seen some of the reviews on the Snake Eyes, and they saying that the joint broke off, or the ball joint broke off. I don't know if it's because it's like due to the plastic being like a different color or it being black, but it broke off. And I built this a little while ago. I want to say I built this back in November, back when I went to Nakama Toys with one of my homies, and I built it about like a month or so ago, and it didn't break. The only issue I have with this, or with the Storm Shadow, is just that it constantly pop off every now and then. So that's kind of like the only issue I have, but it didn't break on me, so I'm assuming that was just only with Snake Eyes and not with this one. So yeah, but it can bend pretty good without no issue. And you do want to use hobby cement on these legs as well, because like they tend to split apart. But other than that, the articulation on this guy is pretty good. I feel like once you know, just hobby cement some of the parts, you have yourself a pretty stable G.I.Joe action figure for the most part. So I can't really say is that bad. Honestly, it's not really that bad. I mean, sure, there are some limitations, you know, having it go like full 360, but honestly, I mean, how often are you gonna do that with the figure anyway? You're just posing it, not really, you know, like constantly rotating like every single part. So I'm completely fine with that. This is a pretty solid model kit overall, so I can't really complain. So my final thoughts on this figure, it's not really that bad. It's not too bad, honestly. Like, the sculpt and detail, although it's pretty simple for the most part, it's still pretty well detailed. It still looks like a G.I. Joe character, and this is like the first G.I. Joe figure I gotten in years, and I mean like in years. I haven't bought a G.I. Joe figure since I was like in the 3rd grade. So I don't know, like when I first saw it at Nakama Toys on the Nakama Toys website, I just got a little nostalgic and just decided to buy it. And I also decided to review it because there weren't that many people, or nobody at all really, actually reviewed this except for me. I think I'm like the only person here on YouTube that actually reviewed this model kit. I know some people, like I already mentioned, they did review this the Snake Eyes, but they didn't review the Storm Shadow. So I just decided to give my 2 cents on this figure since nobody really talked about it, or let alone reviewed it. But it's a pretty good kit, man. I definitely want to buy more from this line. I know they got that Megazord that's coming out at some point of this year. I think it's already out already. I might do a review on that because that looks pretty dope. And I might pick up a couple of the Transformer ones as well, like the Optimus Prime, and also this one character called Shadow Glass Drift. I think that's the name of it, of that character. But I want to get those 2 because they look pretty cool as well. And this year I wanted to do more, I want to expand more on my figure collecting and also my figure reviews. I want to review stuff outside from anime, like not too often though, maybe like every now and then. I want to review like a non-anime figure on the channel. If you guys new to the channel, I mostly review anime figures. So if you like anime figures and if you like anime in general, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of that. But if you want to see me do more anime figure reviews, I got tons of them already up on my channel for last year if you want to go back and rewatch those or watch those. But yeah, I do want to expand more on, like, maybe review like some comic book figures and some more video game figures, definitely. And I feel like me reviewing the Storm Shadow is kind of like me testing the waters on that. Well, not really, because I did review the NECA, the Last Ronin figure, about like a year now, and that did pretty decent. So I guess that's what kind of encouraged me to you know, review stuff outside from anime. But I'm still gonna keep reviewing anime figures. I'm not gonna ban that entirely. I'm still gonna drop more anime figures. In fact, there's definitely a lot more you're definitely gonna see on this channel this year. So I do want to expand more on my horizons on reviewing figures in the year 2024 and beyond. So this has been AZN. Hope you all have a great and safe day. Hope you guys have a great and safe new year. And I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.